One of the greatest temptations I'm facing right now is getting lazy with my style and saying I ain't appreciating mics down. I serve too small a market, I need a larger target. You know, a broader audience who's spending dollars on this. And as of right now, this temptation for making some crazy statements, complaining, but I know how pride sounds. I'm everybody's favorite, maybe one of the greatest, the peak of every playlist. You'd be a lame to hate this, but the truth is it's foolish to say this. So please bear with my foolishness, cause I've concluded it's stupid and fake it. I Google my name too much.
Fans, how y'all doing?
I'm sure they're doing great.
I'm doing good too. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Frank. Thanks for asking.
Thank you for being here today. So today we're going to talk about the series ending of Moonknight, episodes 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Which I gotta say was pretty good.
They were actually pretty great episodes. I rather enjoyed it. So
probably one of the better series that Disney has put out.
Yeah, and I kind of got to be more comfortable in knowing what was going on with episode 5 and 6. When you start out, you're entertained, but it was very confusing the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that
what's going on here as far as explanations and stuff like that. But after watching 5 and 6, I thought that those were some good episodes there.
I do gotta say, I think 3 and 4 might have been my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, these capped off the series real well.
Mm-hmm.
In 5, we see, I believe 5 started with him being shot, correct?
5 started when he was in the spiritual.
Spoiler warning if you haven't already seen him. 5 when he's in. 5 starts when he's in his mental prison, basically.
Yeah, you be forgetting your job sometimes. God damn.
I forget my job. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, but
he's in his. I'm gonna call it a mental prison.
Yeah, psychological, spiritual prison. Let's call it that.
Where he's having to
be judged to balance.
Yeah,
to
and
prove
he's having to revisit all these memories that, frankly, don't make much sense.
Actually, I mean they do. It's given the origin of, which one's the personality and which one who's the original person of the body.
Well, yeah. So they don't make much sense until we start to see more and more of his memories and put it together who he actually is as a person.
Yeah.
But we only do see Mark and Steven's memories. We don't actually see anybody because jumping ahead a little bit, there's more than one person there. More than 2 people there.
Far ahead.
Jumping far ahead.
But yeah, we
only see their 2 memories.
But we've been seeing that was teased that there was a third personality as far as
that third coffin being there.
For the coffin being there and throughout the series, them killing somebody and they not know which one did it. They say, I didn't do it, somebody did it.
But it was nice to get that origin where we see kind of how Steven's made, basically. He was created to kind of to really believe that his mom was still a good person even after his brother died and she hated him for killing him and she never really got over the little brother's death.
It kind of almost reminded me of the old Peacemaker childhood type of torment.
Where he kills the brother and the parent torments him.
Mm-hmm. Except Peacemaker, he didn't make a person an alternate personality to help his grief.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Childhood trauma. You kind of see that in a lot of movies now, but childhood trauma.
Well, yeah, there's always some type of trauma.
And that just shows Steven, he was created to help Mark cope with that trauma.
Yeah, cope with the fact that his mom was just in a downward spiral, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting because when there's that memory where they're standing on the street looking at a building, and Steven's like, I don't remember this, but Mark's like, I don't either. But then it was one of Steven's memories because he transformed right then and there, which didn't make much sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still nice to kind of see them go through that whole journey on, because they're trying to get back to reality and get Khonshu free of his prison to stop Haro from unleashing destruction onto the world.
More like sucking souls. Sucking evil people's souls.
Evil people.
So, she was gone. Opening wide, sucking those souls. All right. Let's get serious here. Goodness. Yeah, you're right about the whole journey path that they had to go back and face. They had to face each other's memories. It did give you a little bit more depth into, again, how which persona was created and whatnot, and how it shows when they were on that ship that only one of them could be part of the body to keep things balanced. Because with both of them, they were both unbalanced.
Yeah, and it wasn't until Steven got pushed off that...
Well, he sacrificed himself, I would say.
But I mean, he did sacrifice. Well, I guess it was more he got pulled off, like something grabbed him.
Well, with sacrifice.
Yeah, with sacrifice, but pulled, same thing.
Sacrifice.
But yeah, one of them had to be in control of the body. Now, it would be interesting to see if Mark would have sacrificed himself, if the scales were balanced, like still, because I mean, they're kind of same person, so but Steven was the one made up, so would he be able to take over if Mark wasn't there?
It's a good question.
Begs that question.
That's a good question. But would the show be Moonknight then if that happened? Because Mark is Moonknight and Steven is Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight, yeah.
So
but once we see the hippo goddess talking with his wife, saying, "Hey, they're here." Mark said, "Don't go after them alone."
Hey, fuse with me.
Yeah, fuse with me. You could be my avatar.
And she turned her down at first. She initially turned her down.
Yes, but after she unleashes Khonshu, and then she kind of is in a tight spot, she accepts, and she's like, "Oh, I'll be a temporary avatar."
Which she seen that she was enjoying her powers, so I don't.
Also, at one point, the hippo goddess is like, "Oh, your dad would be so proud." So it's like, is she gonna like keep the powers so she could like visit the world of the undead and go see her father?
Maybe we might see that.
Because I think that would be a cool little scene to see.
That'd be cool to see, but I mean, it was nice that she's a superhero that can fly. She's an Egyptian superhero. She said she took pride in that.
I felt like that was a little forced though.
I mean, honestly, it's okay because, like I said, she didn't want any part of that at first.
I know, but she's like, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I don't know. I feel like it was obvious. Like, yeah, I am. Like,
yeah, you didn't think
get
that
the
was
safety
cool?
kid.
It wasn't cool.
Get the hell out of here.
What, you didn't like that?
It was fine. I just thought it was a little forced. I mean, I could have been okay with him not having to say it.
I thought it was all right. It was a cool little kid. Not cool little kid, but cool little scene.
When she was ripping off the roof to the car, for a second there, I thought they were going to mimic the Captain America scene where he rips the door off and she was going to have a shield.
Her wings are shield.
I know, but I was like, oh man, she's about to have a shield.
Yeah, she can stop bullets with her wings.
Her costume was honestly dope.
I think that her costume was cool. And then Mark and Steven's character, they were switching in between and they were fighting. It's almost like when I see them, it's like seeing the Joker and Batman in one character. To me, this is off topic, but that's just what I see.
No,
and then Steven, he was fighting. He pulled out those sticks. I mean, he's not. You can tell he's not strong as Mark's character, but I thought that was cool. And then switching in between, and especially when they were talking.
Yeah, they were like, "We want out." They're basically like, if you don't release us, we're not going to do anything.
But before that point, I'm talking about just the fighting scenes for the show. Seeing how they were switching back within costumes from one another with the personality. That's where people can kind of see the difference now. Because like I said, first couple episodes, very confusing. But now in this one, 5 and 6, I think that was the best one to, give a deeper perspective of both characters. But back to what you were saying.
No, I was just talking about how they were like switching in and out when they were talking to Khonshu. They were like, because Mark was like, where do we go from here? And then Steven's like, well, we want to change the terms of our agreement and everything. And they're like, we need to be done once this is over and stuff like that. I just thought it was nice that you could see they're sharing the body at this point. They're like, just like you were saying, in battle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did not care for the flight he took from the pyramids to get to the city. I thought it was a little weird.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know. I almost, it reminded me of the animation in Morbius. I was like,
What'd you think about the evil deity, the alligator? What was it, crocodile?
Yeah, the crocodile deity.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I mean, as she was sucking them souls up, she got bigger and bigger. It was interesting to see Harrow was willing to accept death once he resurrected her. And she was like, no, you're good. I'll use you because I had a loyal, devout servant. And that's how she got stuck the first time. So she was like, you might have a little bit of evil in you, but I'm going to use you because you're loyal and devout. But it was also interesting to see Harold kind of throw away the values he was fighting for that entire time. I mean, because he literally was trying to purify all evil. He knew he had done evil, and he knew he would have to atone for it, and then he never did. And
it seemed Conchi kind of confronted her. He was like, he's a sinner.
Yeah.
He's a sinner. What are you doing? And then they had the big kaiju type of battle.
Yeah, which I thought they...
So, when they were having that battle, regular humans can't see that, right?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no, because...
Only the people that... I don't even... Harrow could because he was with... Harrow could because he was with Ahmet, the alligator.
Mm.
Mark could because he was with Conchu and they were fighting each other. And I believe the wife could too because she was with Tuart, the hippo.
Yeah.
So I think them three could see it all happening. But for other people, it was like things were getting destroyed and stuff and they didn't know what was going on.
They didn't know what was going on.
That's what I think.
I believe that too. I believe they can see like their suits because you see the kid, you're a superhero, Egyptian superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as seeing the deities,
no.
I don't think they can see
You
them.
have to be involved in some way.
You have to be an avatar or some type of character or to have some type of artifact to be able to see them.
And why didn't the other guys show up? I guess that's one question I have. Their avatars were there. Why didn't they show up and help defeat Contra? Because their avatars were finally, after having this big meeting, and they're like, oh, something now is wrong. When it's too late. They're like, who's trying to resurrect her?
Movie logic.
I know, you keep saying that, but it pisses me off. But they're like, oh, now something's wrong. And then they get just whooped real quick. That was what was crazy. Yeah. There was like 4 or 5 of them they couldn't handle Harrow without the goddess being resurrected yet.
Movie logic.
I'm gonna always pick things apart.
Yeah, I know that.
So
we got towards the end. They tell him they want out, which we know it's the first season of the show, so we know the show's coming back.
You know he's coming back.
So you know that they still gonna be Moonknight and Mr. Knight and whatnot. And, you know, the wife, she's enjoying the flight power. She's enjoying those wings and stuff.
We can almost guarantee that she is going to stay. And I believe her character was the Scarab, her superhero name.
I gotta relook it up.
I would have to relook it up too, but I know it's along the lines of the Scarab. But you definitely know he's gonna return. There's no way they don't do a second season of this.
Yeah. So yeah, they want out. The main villain, he's at a mental hospital.
Yeah, so it basically looks like we cut back to real life because it did cut to the mental hospital for a second, but like the fake mental hospital where Mark and Steven are like,
where they were,
and we see them switching again, real easily, like in between talking to Harold the doctor, but then he starts to kind of freak out, and then it cuts to a mental hospital where he's actually in the hospital, and basically can't move on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had Emmet's been infused with him, and Mark and Steven didn't kill him to kill Emmet because they finally wanted out. They were done.
Yeah, and then that's where we get the whole Kacho. He's in a suit in the limo.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
in the limo
yeah.
in the suit.
Yeah, Kacho's in the suit.
Which has a comic book origin, that suit I've seen.
Yeah.
So he's in a white suit. Well, he's white everything. But he's in a white suit, and then he's confronting him. And then you see Oscar Isaac's character, a new character that he's playing.
Yeah, we see this third persona that's been hinted at the entire time.
The whole season.
And he's like, Mark thought I needed him, and Steven thought I can only use him. He's like, but he's more trouble than he thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this third persona that is basically just a murderer. I mean, he killed 2 doctors at the psychiatric place who, that didn't really seem that they had to die, but
I mean, he killed all those people when they were fighting. You see Mark and Steven?
yeah.
They try to avoid killing, but he was a savage. He just said...
Whenever they would pass out and they both didn't know who did it, it was him.
Mm-hmm.
So he kills Haro because he says, it was around the lines of, he had to be killed to kill the goddess, which basically ended that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But they drive off in the white limo with Spectre on the license plate, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's what his character name is, Spectre?
Yeah, that's what his last name was, Mark Spector.
Okay.
But basically, this persona is a driver who he gets all his information like from the people he drives and stuff. So he's like the informant type character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what we waited this whole season. It's like this. We knew that was there, which I thought it was a cool ending scene. Because everybody talked to, wait till the end. Don't cut off. Watch the end credits.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't think we ever done this, but as far as the end credit scene itself, I'm gonna give the end credit scene, I'd say an 8. It wasn't all that to me.
Yeah.
Because I knew that. You know what I mean? It's great that we finally seen it, but that could have been a post credit, and then you could have did something else for season 2 follow up because we knew that. It gave me something I didn't know.
It would be nice to see where this is going now that Haro's dead and basically that storyline's been cut off. So it will be nice to see where they're going with it.
So you like kind of amped at that scene?
It was cool, but like you said, we knew that there was this third character. I would have rather seen him at the end
with something else.
Yeah,
Anything
and
else?
Maybe give us a little hint at who's going to be the villain of season 2,
or if they're going to go into like the movies.
Yeah,
hint
like
that or
if
something.
we saw Loki or something show up,
something like that. So,
but I would give it an 8 to that post credit scene, which out of all the post credit scenes in all the shows they've done, that's probably the better one.
I mean, I liked it in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, where they kind of showed the whole team up, maybe the Dark Avengers or something that they similar. So it's a bunch of storylines going on within Marvel. That we got the whole mutants coming, we got the Fantastic Four coming, we got multiverse coming, we got Dark Avengers or something like that coming. So it's a lot of stories.
I forgot about the Dark Avengers.
Yeah, so hopefully we get that. But let's go ahead and rate these 2 shows. So I'll allow you to go first. So you go ahead and give your ratings for episode 5 and 6 of Moonknight.
For episode 5, I would give it a 7.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good episode. It was definitely the bridge from episode 4. It was just basically a bridge episode. Getting you from episode 4 to the last episode. Because I thought episode 4 was really well. This last episode, I'll give it 8.5.
Okay.
I really liked it. Had a good ending. There were a few things that I was like, what?
Yeah. For me, for episode 5, I'm going to give episode 5 an 8. I thought it was a pretty good origin backstory on both characters. Let you know which one actually originated with the body, which it started with, and which one was a created persona. And then a connection between the two characters, like, oh, you created me, and blah, blah, blah. He was kind of mad and stuff. And then knowing that he was the one who sacrificed himself for Mark. So I like that. For episode 6, I think I'm going to go ahead and give that an 8.5.
Yeah.
Episode 6, I'm going to give it 8.5 because it was a step up from the prior episode. You got the wife being a superhero now.
Mm-hmm.
You got the interactions with the other deities, things like that. You had the soul-sucking deity. So it's definitely worth that 8.5.
Yeah.
But we haven't done this ever. And I think we should start doing it. As for the overall series, and we already gave our individual ratings for the show. As for the overall series, 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm going to give this series an 8 out of 10. Because in the beginning, I thought it maybe started a little slow. Not as slow as some of the other series they had.
Mm-hmm.
But it did start just a little bit slow. But it picked up. It got really good. And it ended on a strong note. It could have ended on just a little bit of a stronger note, but it ended strong. So I will give this entire overall series an 8 out of 10.
As regards to my series rating, I'm going to go ahead and give it like an 8.5. Because for me, some things in the show went up, it went down.
Yeah.
But it was something completely new. It didn't have to cross over with any of what the MCU had already said. So it was already its original story, so which I do like. Maybe in the future we will see Moonknight join some of the MCU main characters and stuff like that. Maybe if we get a Secret Wars movie, we might get that. But for me, definitely 8.5 series. So those are those were our 5 and 6 reviews and our series review.
Series overall review.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us on another episode of Fan Style Reviews. Again, my name is Jamel.
And I am Frank.
And we're going to see you on the next one.
If you like that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We out.